Hey there, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Good evening, crypto friends. How we doing out there? We are live once again in the green, the way we like it. And you are looking at BTC USD on the screen there. Pardon me. Depending on whether you're getting data from Coinbase or Binance, I'm kind of favoring the Binance. It's already up to the 50K, but Coinbase still banging away at the 49,654.94 is current price. Let's have a look at the charts. So we're looking here at BTC USD on Coinbase, as I mentioned, and we're looking at support at the 49,026.41 right here on this low. And we're starting to look up now at the 5470.70 resistance for the BTC. RSI is in good shape down here. Volume still trending along the average volume, so nothing big and juicy yet, but looking good for Bitcoin. Let's move on to ETH USD. That is what you know as Ethereum. Ethereum up 2.83%, so we're looking at support now. Still at the 33. Let's get that monitor close. There we go. 33333.08. Man, that's got to be lucky. And that's your support level. And then looking up at resistance still remains at the 3365.05. RSI in good shape. Volume still good. We can move our stop loss, and I'll talk a little bit about stop losses here in a minute as we move on through. So let's go on to Cardano, ADA, USD. Cardano still banging away, trying to get across that $3 mark, all-time high, 3.02, in fact, is the all-time high for Cardano. So we're looking at resistance up there to 2.93817. A lot of folks letting go before we just, if we can break through that $3 range, we're off to the races, folks. And you have support now. We set a new higher low right up there on that doji candle. You know what that doji means, indecision. And it's good to see it on the bearish side. So the bears are undecided whether it's going to go up or down. So folks are still buying, as they should. So we're looking at 2.8478 support. Excuse me. And we're just going to keep moving that stop. So basically, when you see me moving this stop loss around, so a lot of day traders use stop losses to protect their trade on their trading plan, what have you. And if you're a long-term investor like myself or swing trading, it could be a double-edged sword. So basically what can happen is if you're not there next to the computer, a lot of times, and this is tin hat myself speaking here, a lot of times that supposedly no one can see where your stop loss is on the exchanges. I doubt that. I think they can, because you'll see a lot of times it'll just blow right through where all the technical traders would normally have their stop losses, stop them out, and then bounce and then blast off to the upside. So there's your discussion on stop losses. If you're able to be in front of the computer, yes, use them. And of course, this is not financial advice. This is some dude on the internet trying to keep you from getting scammed. That's all I'm trying to do, and teach you how to do technical analysis. Commercial is over now. So Cardano is looking good here. We're looking at support, as I mentioned, up there at the 2.847. We're trying to bust through that $3 range, and then we're looking down here at the RSI. That's your relative strength indicator or index. And once you see that dash right there, that is the 70 range for RSI. So usually when we get above there, we'll need to have a pullback to come down. And but when it goes in blue sky breakout, when you're hitting all-time highs, all that goes out the window. So you're asking yourself, so how do I deal with this? How do I keep myself from FOMOing in blowing a hole wide, and this thing is going sky high. It's going to go to $27. So what you do, and again, this is not financial advice, you just scale in little by little. Watch for these little pullbacks, like right here. You could add an entry on this low coming down, and here you had another opportunity. Down here you had another opportunity, and even if it's in a green candle, what have you, just scale in small. Don't blow the hole wide up front, because when it drops, you're going to have that sick feeling in your stomach. Believe me, I've had it many a times. Okay, lesson over. Let's get back to the charts. We're going to look at Doge. You know the ticker, DOGE, the Doge of all Doge. So what we are looking at here for today, Doge is, where we at, 1.14%. So pretty much, as you can see here, though, we're trading in this range, and that could be consolidation or accumulation. But either way, it's healthy. We're okay with that. So we're going to find our support levels. We see that we have the previous low right over here, 1, 2, and the body of a couple more candles. So that support level is going to be the 0.3157. So that's your line in the sand. And then you're looking now up at just above there on the previous high. We're looking here at this one at the 0.3215. RSI, good shape. Volume trailing off just a wee bit, just under average. So nothing special going on with Doge today. Moving on to PolkaDot, DOGE.D. It's managed to get itself another percent for today. And so you see here what we had charted this morning. Let's see how we held up here. So we did maintain that support level right here, right on top of that 12-day moving average. And that's pretty much, it's kind of right on. We did overshoot here and came back to that 12-day moving average. So we're going to go with support at 27.710. And we are having a little bit of difficulty getting through this. There's a previous high here, and there's 1, 2, 3, almost 3 goes at it now at the 28.1867 for resistance. Let's move on to BNB USD. That's Binance Coin. It's on a run up here, and we're looking at 11.66% increase for today. Not too shabby. So we'll set our support level on this low right there at the 489.165. Resistance at 505.601. RSI way overbought. And what that means is there's usually, when the RSI is above 70, you can anticipate a pullback to support and then a continuation. So it may need to retest this low here, or maybe even the 12-day moving average. That's your support. We mentioned that for you. So keep an eye out for that if you're in BNB USD. Moving on to SOL USD, Solana. Trading in this range here for quite some time. Bebopping around. And we can make a slight improvement on that. Let me zoom in really tight here. And yeah, there we go. It's going to set the alert off. That's okay. So 73.4375 is your support level. Should we lose, you can see right now we're sitting right on that low, retesting that. And the volume was kind of not insignificant, so I would say that we may come down to our support level I just mentioned, and resistance now up to 76.171. Let's have a look here at Litecoin LTC USD, the lightest of all coins. And we have support remaining, 1, 2, body of that candle, 3. So good support at 186.41, but struggling with, let's see, we're sitting right on that previous high there. So we could be optimistic If we can't get through that resistance level there, we're going to come up to the 189.92. Well, let's move on to Ethereum Classic ETC/USD. Slight adjustment there for the support level from this morning, 67.775. Still struggling with that 68.669. So there's a significant seller right there in that range wanting to get out. And every time, as you can see, we've hit it numerous times here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Overshot. Going on 6 times now. So let's move on to MATIC. MATIC/USD Polygon. At least the range is not as tight, so we can expand our support level down to right there. 1.5976 is support, and resistance still remains at the 1.6399er. On to Stellar XLM USD, it's up 1.25%. Stellar likes to run with Bitcoin. I'm just saying it kind of parallels that. Big fan of Stellar. I've had it forever and ever. Gonna always have it. So don't want to shield. I mean, in fact, full disclosure, everything I have on the watch list, I have a portion of. So you know that. So we're looking at support at 0.37512. And resistance, there it is, at the 0.380. On to Vechain, VET/USD, it's up 2.95%. And how is the old chain doing here? Yep, we're still hanging on to 0.13184 support, and couldn't get through this resistance level, so let's just leave that be as we starting to tighten up in the range there. So we're looking at 0.1346. Wrapping up the large caps with FIL/USD. Support level is 79.434. Could not get above that resistance at 81.078. On to the small caps. Let's look at IOTA, Internet of Things, down 0.83%. So kind of not moving with its brothers and sisters. So it's staying calm. We're looking at support at the 1.143 and resistance now, pardon me. Let's leave her be right there to 1.1746 on the basic attention coin BAT/USD. If you're using the Brave browser, you get paid to surf. That's how you earn BAT. Up 2.69%. And we're looking up at resistance 0.9082. We want to see us bust through that $1 for BAT. Coming soon. Support remains at the 0.8559. On to NMR/USD. We still have that support for you down there at the 44.00, that $44 round psychological number. And we did break that resistance we had charted for you this morning. So now we're going to look up there at the 45.3676. So you got a $1 range in there for you folks that day trade. Let's move on to STORJ/USD. It's competition for FIL. We're up 2.85%, and we have support at 1.360. And your resistance is sitting at 1.3971. On to NuUSD. We could have left her right there. We had 1, 2, 3. Nice support there at the 0.3176, and resistance could not get through 0.3314. RSI in good shape. Volume is kind of trailing off here as we move into the evening hours here on the UTC. We're -4. Sorry about that. Let's look at some of these DeFi tokens. Uniswap UNI/USD up 1.79%. And we lost our support level, so we're going to start looking down and left. Right there to 28.655. And resistance now coming into the picture very close by at the 29.104. Moving on to LINK, that's Chainlink. It's up 2.63% and still holding that support level we had charted this morning. So we'll leave her at 28.410. We could not get through that resistance level, so we're going to look down at the 28.955. Moving on to Aave, AAVE USD up 2.33%. Aave sitting right in the middle of our support and resistance we had charted this morning, so we're going to leave that be 406.233. There's your rhyme for the evening. And we can adjust the resistance there, 414.480. Heading on over to the graph token, GRT USD. It's down 4.07%. Somebody done some hating on GRT today, sold her down there. So we're looking at support at the $1 mark. And you got your resistance now to contend with, the 1.04, so a 4-cent range there on GRT. And just below average volume. So fingers crossed for GRT. Let's head on to COMP USD. Compound, it is 1.73% up for today. Fell off that support level that we had charted this morning. Maybe not. And they're right back there. So we're looking at 466.250 is your support level. And we are looking now at the resistance at 469.8777. Would like for it to see it touch this 100-day moving average because it really likes to bounce off of there. So that would be a good entry if you're considering that. Moving on to MKR USD. It's up 2.11% for today. And how we hold it up? Yep, still holding that support at 3866.182. And we're going to need to adjust that resistance. We couldn't quite get through that previous high right there. So we're going to look at the 3966.857. Wrapping up the DeFi tokens with Mana, MANA, USDC. This data is on Coinbase. So we're looking at resistance up at the 0.9279. Support now. There we are at the 0.8912. Let's head over to NFT land. We're looking at Theta, THETA USD. Theta up 7.13%. So NFTs are moving today, as you'll see as we work towards ENJ here. Meanwhile, back at the Batcave, let's zoom out here to the daily and see what kind of resistance we're running into as we start to move in some previous price range. There we are. We'll pop back into 4 hour. There we go. So I kind of went a little crazy there, didn't I? There we go. So we're looking at the $8 range resistance up there for Theta. And let's get your support now. Kind of hard to come by. Let's go here and look some more to the left. So we're all the way back in the early August. Go to the daily. And so where are we getting that support? There should be. Right off the body of that candle all the way back in June. So there's your support level. Let's pop back in there and get this straightened out for you. Pardon me. So you are looking at support at 7.807. Moving on to CHZ-USD, it is up 7.81%. The cheese getting some love there. So looking at resistance at the 0.4105. Still hanging on to that support level. We're not even close, so we're going to leave that be. So if you're trading this range, good for you. So look at that support at the 0.3853. On to, as you know, my favorite, Audius, up 10.27%. Get some love off that TikTok partnership. And it's a great thing. I love to see musicians get paid straight directly. Great concept there. So we're looking at support at a 2.967, resistance at the 3.272. Let's have a look at ENJ BUSD skyrocket ship. Not all-time high, but we did get up there, found ourselves some resistance. We had some sellers up there at the 2.1894. So we'll be keeping an eye out for that. Let's jump into 1 hour and bust those candles up so we can see where our support lies. Is going to be at the 2.08. So ENJB having a good day today. Let's look at Harmony One. Harmony One still creeping up there. It's up 0.26%, just wiggling away. We got support for you at the 0.1148. Resistance just for you. Gonna be right there at the 0.1197. Moving on to the SHIB. SHIB USDT. This one's paired up with Tether. For a lot of you SHIB fans out there, this is just for you. We've added that to the watch list. So we got 50814 support and 50824 resistance. On to ICP USD. And you see what we had this morning. I think I like that so far. So we have our support level still holding at 65.527. Resistance still remains at 66.846. Got that sideways action, so it's stuck in a range. That's okay. Let's move on to AMP. AMP USD is up 14.61%. And still climbing. These big wicks, though, you see these giant wicks on the top and bottom. That shows you that there are algos trading this thing. Because if you could imagine, if you could buy it here, sell it here, buy it here, sell it here, buy it here. So, I mean, they're just going to town. And you can see that we have 1.881 billion coins or tokens traded. Lots of volume. And with that said, we're looking at 0.06542 support and resistance up there at the 0.07508. RSI almost, you see here, we did get into the overbought, came back down, cooled that thing off, and then had ourselves another little bounce out of there. So we're right on the verge of overbought. So keep an eye on that, folks, if you're in AMP. For the short term. Moving on to CRO USD. That is Crypto.com's token, up 2.90%, almost 3. So we're looking at support at the 0.1602 and resistance up there at the 0.1603. You got to get that decimal in there. And we've added AVAX USD to the watch list here. AVAX sounds like Ajax. So we're looking at support. We did fall through that. We had charted for you this morning. Still hanging on just barely to that 12-day moving average. Look at support to hold at the 45.517. And a resistance right down there at the $50 mark. RSI in good shape. And let's move on into the crypto market caps. Looks like we sold some BTC today to buy some altcoins. And I'll show you exactly where they went. So we're down 1.43% in BTC market cap. We're down to 43.99%. Ethereum, we are up 0.5%, 18.39. And here's where it went. Cardano, ADA, is up 5.85%. So we're almost to 4.5% of the entire crypto market cap is in Cardano. Pretty darn significant. As the Doge lost some fur, so we're down about 0.5%. So we're down to 1.97, and we are still sitting pretty on that 2,122 billion. So trying to get up to that. If we can get up to that 2.5 trillion again, as you recall, we did hit the 60K mark on BTC, Ethereum. We hit a lot of all-time highs. So things are looking up, looking good and strong. Hope you're doing well out there, folks. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you. And before you leave, you know the drill. I'll hit you with this like, subscribe stinger. Have a good day. Hey there. Be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell.
Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
I like that, y'all. I like that, y'all.